We have been beaten 2-1 at home to Leicester City in the Premier League relegation dogfight. 6-pointer. We are hurtling towards relegation, people. We are hurtling towards relegation. That is the reality of the situation. We are absolutely on our knees. We're losing games every single week. And Leicester, a team who have lost 7 games in a row, have just come to our ground and beaten us 2-1 in an utterly toothless display from Spurs. I'm here with Amir. I mean, it is absolute embarrassment from Tottenham to be beaten by a team sitting in, well, we're sitting in 19th. They're now 3 points closer to us in the relegation dogfight. I mean, these defeats are getting harder and harder to take week on week. We've lost back-to-back games to Everton and Leicester. Leicester, who have scored 2 goals in their last 7 games, have gone here and scored 2 at the Tottenham Stadium. They've conceded at least 2 goals in their last 7 games in every single game. They've kept us to 1 goal here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We are now 26 days into the transfer window and only 1 signing, which has been a goalkeeper, when we know we are desperate for outfield signings. We didn't even name a full bench today. We had 8 players on our bench when we can name 9 because we are so out on our feet when it comes to players being injured. We have no players available. We have a manager at the moment who is running out of ideas as to how to cobble together a team that can even beat a side who are 19th in the table. We have players who are completely out on their feet, running themselves into the ground, unable to change things on the pitch, lacking ideas. We are making mistakes after mistakes on the pitch throughout the whole game. We got away with it in the first half, then second half, it absolutely cost us. We were 1-0 up, and within 5 minutes of that second half, we're 2-1 down. And Leicester didn't have to do anything. Just all they had to do was run down the clock for 40 minutes, and Tottenham had no answer to it. We're playing 3 teenagers. We're playing a 17-year-old and 2 18-year-olds in the middle for 40 minutes of that 40 minutes of that half, with absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Leicester are one of the worst teams we've seen in the Premier League this season, have come here and beaten us 2-1. It's getting tiring, man. It is getting tiring. I've backed this manager. I still want him to succeed. I still think he can succeed. But I said after the Everton game, it's a struggle to see, first of all, this injury situation changing in time for him to make to change it. And is he going to make it to that other side where we start to get players back? Because at the moment, we're just hurtling down the table faster than a brick in a river. We're hurtling down the table as a guy in quicksand. It's getting fast. It's getting dangerous. At the moment, we are still 8 points clear of the relegation zone. So that's, when it comes to a relegation battle, that is something to take away. But the problem is, when you're capable of losing at home to a team like Leicester, there isn't any result you're not capable of at the moment.
Exactly. And you know what it is, Sim? It's not just a manner in where we lost that 2-1. We just gifted Leicester opportunities to get back in the game. We just gifted them the ball in the middle of the park, giving the ball away. It's just, overall, it's just not good enough all around. And I'm looking at everyone here. I'm not just looking at the players, because it's obviously a lot of it's on them. I'm looking at Ange, a lot of it's on him. But out of everyone, it's more on Levy, the board, and what they're doing to this club, because they've ripped the soul from it. They've built a business empire on top of what was a football club. They prioritise making money over the success of our football team, and it costs us time and time again, season after season. This is not the first January window we have not seen players come through the door. This is not the first manager we have seen come in and go out after 18 months and not manage to do anything. It's been a revolving door for the last 24 years of this ownership, and I'm just sick to death of it. And you know what, to be perfectly honest, I could have stayed at home today, not watched Tottenham, and I probably would have had a happier day, to be perfectly honest with you, spending some time with my niece and nephew. I'm sick to death of what they've turned this club into, Sib. And, you know, people will point the fingers. They'll point for Ange. We'll go through players. We'll single out a few poor performances. But it goes way deeper than all of that. It goes way, way deeper than all of that. We were in a mess way before Ange was here. And it's not just, a few poor performances in the team that lost us this game. There is something at the core of Tottenham Hotspur that is completely rotten. And until we deal with that, I mean, I don't know where we go from here, mate, to be perfectly honest with you.
In terms of the game, obviously, first half, you know, it was not great, but we got ourselves in the lead through Richarlison with a header, and you know, we had other chances through Son, who forced the keeper into the save, and we probably were the better team in the first half, and probably deservedly, I think, going to half-time 1-0 up, albeit even in that first half there were times making silly mistakes, sloppy errors in the middle of the park, which Leicester failed to capitalise on, and albeit we obviously had the better of the chances in that first half, and we did go in 1-0 up, and second half just couldn't have started more disastrously. Literally within a minute, they make it 1-1. Porro giving the ball away, then caught out on in his position on the right hand side. Decored over Reed across the face of goal, and Jamie Vardy's there to tap it home and makes it 1-1.
But here's the thing, Sim. Doing the same thing time and time again and expecting something to change, that's the definition of insanity. And it's the same thing that we're doing time after time. You go back to the derby. We lost the ball in the middle of the park, boom, it's 2-1. We lose the ball, Porro loses the ball in the middle of the park, boom, it's 1-1. Why do we keep doing this? Why do the players not learn? I don't understand. The basics of football, right, is defending and attacking. We do the attacking part well, but we have no idea how to defend a lead. How many games have we been 1-0 up or even sometimes 2-0 up and we let teams back in it? I can't understand it. I don't understand. And all we need to do is be professional for 90 plus minutes, 90 plus 7 plus 10 plus whatever. Why can we not do that? Why can other teams do that? I don't understand. I'm honestly, I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss, Sim. And I really don't know where we go from here. And I know there's going to be a lot of fans calling for Ange's head. And I completely get that. I understand that. There's going to be some people that want to keep Ange in and say we need to back him. And I get that. But I think either of those options, I still don't feel confident taking either of those options. Because where do we go from here? We've got 13 players out injured. Probably another 2-3 from this game. And we're sitting, 16th, 15th in the league. 8 points off relegation. Battling for our place in the Premier League.
It's a disgrace.
It's a disgrace.
It's an absolute disgrace where where we are in the league and the position that we're in. It's an absolute farce. It's farcical that we've managed to put ourselves in a position where we are losing week in, week out. We have needed players since before the window even opened. This isn't a shock to anyone. This isn't a surprise to anyone. We have been having this amount of injuries, over double-digit injuries for over 2 months in a row.
Yep.
These players can't cope with it. These players can't... it's too difficult for them to keep churning out performances and results when we've got this level of injuries. But the problem is we're losing games week in, week out. We knew on Thursday, you saw what a massive effort the players put in to get that result. You saw at the end of the game, they're completely on their feet. And then we come to this game week, and he didn't have any players to change it. In fact, we lost more players because Maddison somehow is left out, and he is unavailable for this game. So the situation is worsening week in, week out. And as much as I believe Ange can turn it around if given the situation, I don't know if he's going to be afforded that time or that situation. Maybe he shouldn't, and maybe he shouldn't be afforded that time. If he can't problem solve against a home side, against a team like Leicester, then there's big questions that has to be asked about whether he should be the manager to lead us through this current situation. Big questions. I'm not saying Ange out, because I even after, again, I've been very consistent on my opinion that I don't see the overall situation changing until the situation with the players change. And in fact, it's gotten worse. So how can I sit here and say I expect the results to change when the situation hasn't changed and it's gotten worse? But we are playing a Leicester team who are even in worse form than us. And when they're coming to our ground and actually fancying their chances, that's got to be serious concern. Serious concern.
Every team fancies their chances against us. Even Tamworth fancied their chances against us. and almost beat us in the 92nd minute there with a last-minute chance they had. So, it's just... It goes way deeper than Ange and the players, Sim. It goes way, way deeper than that. Why have players not come through the door in the last 20-odd days? Why have we not seen any reinforcements?
And you know how people say, are these players still playing for the manager? At what point do we ask the question, are these players still playing for the club? Are these players still playing for the board?
I don't think half of them are. Mate.
Because we've heard enough players now, Son, Romero, Decky, make statements or make comments about the board and about how they're not doing enough.
Yeah.
And maybe, you can say, are they playing for the manager? Maybe they've lost hope that this club is going to go in any sort of direction, not because of the manager, but because of how we're run at the top.
Maybe they're all planning their exit as well. Maybe they're all, looking at their next chapter, their next... I don't know. But something is clearly wrong at Tottenham Hotspurs. And it needs, like, it's like a disease that needs to be taken care of, chopped off at root. And I think when you're looking at that root of our problems, it's all comes down to our ownership and Levy. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. They are the ones responsible for hiring, firing and bringing people through the door. They're responsible for sacking Jose. They're responsible for sacking Poch when they did. They're responsible for how Conte left this club. And they're responsible for the situation we're in because they're the ones that brought Ange Postecoglou in and gave him the tools that we currently have.
We're literally in a situation where we're relying on a 17-year-old winger to come on and save the day.
It's crazy.
We're relying on two 18-year-olds in the centre of our midfield to get us through a game, a Premier League game of football.
We've played an 18-year-old out of position for the last 3 months.
Literally.
It's crazy. It's crazy. No other big side does this. We're not a big side. Again, we don't aim to be a big side. We don't aim. We have no ambition.
You saw what City have done this window.
Yeah.
They were in a mess. Bam. Put the money down.
Mido told you to sign him last year.
Put the money down.
Mido, the Egyptian who knows Egyptian football, told Spurs to sign Marmoush last season. What did we do? Did we listen? No. Of course not. Because Levy and the ownership know better. Lenik know better. They know
look what happened. Yeah, look what happened yesterday. Man City get some signing ins and bam, they win the game 3-1, and they're going to turn their situation around.
Of course they do.
But we have to wait for the best deals. We have to wait for all the money off. We have to wait, and in that meantime, the situation gets worse and worse. The injury crisis gets deeper and deeper. And said specifically in this press conference, if we don't bring anyone in, we are playing with fire.
There you go.
We are playing with fire, and I don't think he just means from a playing point of view. In terms of more players might get injured, I think he means we are playing with fire, that we are hurtling towards this relegation fire. If we do not get these players some help, they are dying out there. They are sinking without a trace. They need help.
Kulu and some of the other lads, they literally need 3 weeks off to just recover from what they've been through, and yet they're playing every minute. It's a joke. It's honestly, I don't know how they can sit there in the stadium, watch that, and feel okay with themselves. I don't understand. I really don't get it, Sim.
Help them, for God's sake. It is no secret. This isn't a surprise. Since November, we've known that we have needed to act quickly in this window.
Yep.
And the reality is now, even if we do get a signing or two at the end of this window,
it's too little, too late.
It's too little, too late. The damage is done. What are they going to bed in before the Liverpool game? Are they going to be ready to go and start straight away? They need time to bed in. They need time to create relationships with the players. This had to happen at the beginning of the month. Otherwise, there's no point. This is an absolute farcical situation. And they might well throw the manager under the bus and sack him. And maybe he deserves to be sacked with the results he's getting. I'm not sitting here and saying that the manager can't be doing better. I'm sure he can. But at the end of the day, a new manager's going to come in. We're still going to have 14 injuries. Yep. And they're going to be asked to do the impossible and turn our form around with that level of injuries. Yep. With a tired squad. With no help for these players. Yep. So whether a manager is here or not, the situation will not change, in my opinion. And I'm just tired at the moment. I am tired of this football club and what's going on. I'm trying to hope that it can turn around when we start getting players back and all these different things, but it just doesn't seem to be happening. It's getting the opposite direction. We are getting more and more players injured by the week. These players are running on empty, and they're running on even less as the games go on. Yeah. I can't sit there today and say they didn't try. I can see they tried. I can. They were trying. They were running their socks off, but it's not enough. We don't have enough in this team right now. I think that's clear. I think that's clear when you're watching on the pitch. I'm seeing them run their socks off. I'm seeing them press. I'm seeing them try and force the issue, but it's just not enough. They need help. And if it's not, I mean, Levy and Lange and Munn, why are you there watching the game? Get some deals done. Why are you at the game?
I swear, what are they doing?
Don't watch the game.
What are those mugs
watch it on
doing?
your phone.
What are those mugs
Get
doing?
on a private jet.
What are they doing?
Get some deals done.
What are they doing?
Why are you watching the game? Take some calls.
He's too busy. He's too busy planning his next hotel. That's why.
If Paratici was there, he'll be on the phone during the game.
Well, he's gone, hasn't he? He's left.
He'll be on the phone during the game, getting deals done.
It's a joke.
Making things happen.
It's a joke.
I'm just sick of what's going on at this club right now. I mean, every day we're doing transfer updates and all this bullshit where nothing's happening. Lange is working in the shadows. What shadows? It's like he's working so quietly, it's like we're not even going to notice that signings have been made. Nothing's happening. Lange, this is your job, right? To find players to help us when we're in dire situation. This is your job and you are failing. There is no two ways about it. You are failing at your job if you can't get players to help us in this current situation. This is the most desperate I've ever seen a team in need of signings. No team has ever been more desperate than this situation. And you can't get a single deal done when we need it. Get to work, man. You're sitting there with Scott Munn, hoping that these players can continually somehow get some performances with what's going on at the moment. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It's beyond a travesty.
Outfield signings.
Zero.
For a month, nearly.
It's beyond a travesty, Sim. Honestly, it's I don't know what they're playing at, to be honest with you. And I think the writing's on the wall for Ange, to be honest with you, Sim.
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes after this. I wouldn't be surprised. But we are so close to that semi-final. I don't think he gives that to another manager. I just don't. We're literally a week away from it.
He sacked Mourinho before a cup final.
I know, but I think he got so much backlash for that. I don't think he's going to want to do that again. I can't see him doing it again. He might well do. But I think he keeps with it again. I don't think he does sack him, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does after this result, because we've just lost back-to-back games to teams in the relegation zone or in the relegation fight. And if you can't even beat these teams, then, you know, what? I mean, if these are the teams you can't beat, who can you beat right now?
Where would we be if we? Do you know what? Forget about it. I can't anymore. Sim. It's too painful to even think about where we're at the moment.
All right, well, that is your instant match reaction, guys. Let us know in the comment section below what you think of the current situation. Let's